In Minnesota, Martin Luther King Day is growing synonymous with the sport of basketball, and we've got two teams ready to hit the courts on this Monday matinee. The Robbinsdale Cooper Hawks, the defending Class 3A state champions, go up against the Tartan Titans, a team still contending and hoping to play an upset card in Section 4-4A. Greetings, everyone. I'm Mike Peden, joined by LaToya Turk. Game 2 of 3 in our planned slate of games. LaToya, Robbinsdale Cooper 8-7, maybe a bit surprising for a team coming off a state title, but the Hawks have played a bevy of tough opponents in non-conference play, including Holy Angels, Cooper, and Ysareia.
Absolutely. This team stacked their schedule right from the beginning, and that's what championship teams do. They don't just sit back in their conference and get those easy wins. They challenge themselves. And the head of their program, Kierra Wheeler, she knows exactly what she's doing, and they're still looking pretty good. Buford
herself, a two-time state tournament champion at St. Paul Central. And one reason why they're pretty good, as LaToya described it, they've got 3 players who can score and rebound effectively. The Wheeler sisters, Aja and Kierra, and Arthel Massaquoi, all 3 of them are double-double threats. You don't get that a lot, no matter the class, no matter the school.
Absolutely, and this Cooper team has so many threats. They push the ball very well, and like you said, they get down there and they rebound, and it's very hard to contend great players in the post.
Tartan still has a lot of great players, even though they lost Ysareia Chevre to Simley via transfer. Kendra Ekereke has really stepped it up this year, double digits in every game. TK Mason back from injury. She's shown some promise. So this Tartan team, they may be an underdog in Section 4-4A, but they still get after it.
Absolutely, and like you said, let's not forget about this Tartan team. They have Takara Mason back. They have a point guard who has some some leadership at the point guard position in Ysareia, and they also have Aurora, who's in the paint, who has great jumping ability and rebounding ability. So she's just not going to lay down to those post players on the Cooper team.
Well, to quote the line from Coach Carter, when you lose your leading scorer from last year, that just means there's going to be new leading scorers this year.
Absolutely, someone has to step up.
We'll see who steps up when we return. This is high school girls basketball. If you'd like to sponsor a TSP television broadcast, Patreon is the place. Sponsorships start at just $1 a month. Visit patreon.com/TSP television and make a pledge for premier Twin Cities sports coverage. Welcome back to the Butler Center on the campus of St. Catherine University. LaToya, over the years, we see a lot more events in the sport of basketball, and it's great to see all these different organizations, venues hosting high school hoops on a day, especially for these two teams they can identify with.
Oh, absolutely. We just want to make sure that they know the reason for the holiday, and we're just not here to play basketball. Dr. King did some great things for our community, and it's nice to be able to honor them in something that they do and they do very well, which is play basketball.
Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to St.
This is game 2 of 5. And I was told entering this game from some of the other media members in attendance, expect a fast-paced game, not a lot of defense, and these two teams not afraid to put up big numbers.
Oh yeah. Both of these teams have scorers on their team, and I think part of the reason that you won't see a lot of defense is because they get up the floor so quickly. It's kind of hard to transition defense, but as we know, if you want to play at that next level, you do need to be able to play defense.
Right, and like you said, with that quick pace, that doesn't give teams a lot of time to get their offense or to get a lot of things in motion. You look at Robbinsdale Cooper, for example, 4 players averaging double figures in scoring. The Wheeler sisters, Massaquoi, Andrea Tribble. And so when you have that much talent, that much potency in your starting unit, you can put up points in a hurry.
Absolutely, and this Cooper team, they play very well together. They know their seams and their gaps, they know their strengths, and they use them. The Tartan team, they have some missing players that are rejoining them this year with TK and Aurora, and I think sometimes they're still trying to find their peaks and valleys here, as to say.
Well, and let's not forget about Aurora Roberts. It's not like she disappeared last year, but there were some concerned thoughts that she might not return after what happened with her and her family over the last year, but she stayed with it. And I mentioned this the last time I saw Tartan play against Stillwater. She knows when she comes out here on this gym, she's got family.
And she gives 110% every single time. Aurora's one of my favorites to watch. I've worked with her, and she always keeps a positive attitude. And it's really amazing that she can come back after what she dealt with health-wise and family-wise last year and be as productive as she's being for this Tartan team.
The starting 5 for the visiting Tartan Titans, it's Kentia Cumming, number 3, Aurora Roberts, number 4, Nevaeh Meister, number 10, Kendra Ekereke, number 23, and TK Mason, number 33. Cooper wearing the navy blue. They'll start Jayla Relaford, number 0, Andrea Tribble, number 1, Aja Wheeler, number 2, Kierra Wheeler, number 21, and Sierra Lynch, number 23. Arthel Massaquoi coming off the bench today. Now, if you haven't followed us, if this is your first time watching Tartan play, Aurora Roberts suffered Guillain-Barré syndrome that left her paralyzed for a time. She was able to recover from that and was able to play last year. Kendra Ekereke fires the quick 3. And then during the offseason, lost her mother to cancer.
Right.
And that was a heavy blow for everyone in the Tartan community. I speak with Michael Cummings a lot, Tia Cummings' father, and he said that one hurt because of how much they stick together, they value
Absolutely.
each other, and all the times they've gotten together over the years.
And Aurora's parents were great supporters of the program. So like you say, that was a huge loss for the entire program.
And they still are. Aurora's father, very much involved.
Deacon
There's Aurora.
Craig.
Gets her own miss and puts back her own miss.
Yeah, her dad would be proud of that.
Aurora Roberts averaging 9.6 points, 6.1 rebounds a game. On the other end,
that's
Andrea
a nice little
Tribble.
weapon to have in your pocket, a spot-up jump shooter.
Robbinsdale Cooper benefited by classing down to 3A, allowing them to win their first state championship in school history. And in doing so, Kiara Buford holds a rare distinction. Do you know what that is?
What is that?
Well, I'm sure she had her share of putbacks, but that's Kendra Ekereke scoring. Kiara Buford is just the second female athlete to win a state title as a player and a coach.
Amazing.
As you know, she won 2 at St. Paul Central, went to Minnesota, did all right, played overseas for a season. Now she's the mother of 2. Got into coaching through some connections at her job at the Robbinsdale School District, and what she has done to transform that program is phenomenal. And Aurora Roberts off to a hot start for the Titans. They lead 6-2.
And it looks like Tartan knows that they're going to have to rebound. Those last couple of possessions, they've been underneath the basket, really taking care of business.
Cooper's
doing a good job of breaking this press, too.
That was maybe not the most clean or the cleanest drive out there. And Kendra Ekereke's feeling it.
2 points is 2 points.
Right. That was a bit of an unscripted drive on the part of Aja Wheeler. Count it for Sierra Lynch.
I think she knew what she was going to do before she even got into that situation.
She was committed.
Yep.
So if the first 2 minutes and 20 seconds are any indication, I think we are going to get a shootout.
Yeah.
I hope you like offense. You know what? They're all watching James Harden video. Roberts got tied up. Meister fires the 3. That doesn't fall. Now Tartan, they play today. They play tomorrow against Simley. We know that's going to be big with Ysareia Chevre going up against her old team. But Justin Burgess, in his second season as head coach, made it a point. Don't look ahead. You've got to get through
Day to day.
a high-quality Cooper team first. And Justin Lynch knows a thing or two about winning in big games. He is a graduate of Minneapolis North, 2003 state tournament champion. Ekereke lost it. She was stripped by Sierra Lynch.
And Miss Lynch is no joke.
Neither is Tribble. Her 3 is off the mark. Well, Cooper surprised everybody. Again, going down to 3A certainly helps because that gets you out of Hopkins in your section. But this was a program with virtually no history as Lynch scored the drive.
Absolutely.
No history in women's basketball, and really no A-listers. A lot of supporting players. You've got some talent.
Nice hesitation move there, yeah.
Aurora Roberts showcasing her glamorous skill set with 6 points early. And it's a bit of a contrast from Kiara Buford when she was on St. Paul Central. Those were super teams.
Yeah, but you know what? It takes a great coach to come in who has basketball knowledge and change a program around. You don't need a lot of fancy players or equipment. Basic tools and resources.
Tell that to all the Lynx fans who are worried about Maya Moore.
Yeah.
Kierra Wheeler scores for the Hawks. TK Mason, mid-range J, doesn't drop. Aurora Roberts was there for the O board, and she'll shoot 2.
I think that's Ekereke who was there.
They're right, that was Ekereke.
I'm sorry, Ekereke, thank you.
Well, that's okay, you had the right player. I'm going to hear it from Aurora's dad after this. In fact, tomorrow I could see the Tartan players. They're all going to have a word with me. Well, that's all right. You're allowed 1 mulligan, right?
You are. I'm allowed 5.
5 sounds about right.
Okay.
Ekereke, 15.4 points, 6.2 rebounds a game, 69% free throw shooter, and 2 double-doubles this season. She scored 21 on 2 occasions. Cooper on the run, and getting a friendly bounce to Sierra Lynch. Jason Sandifer was here for Eastview Simley. The rim's extremely friendly here.
Oh, that's good.
Roberts missed the 3.
Range there. They got to sprint back. The starting team's got to sprint back. Cut off that offensive drive from Cooper.
13-12 is our score. Wheeler, bounce pass, an open 3 for Lynch. That's long. Meister with the board. She's got Cummings on the leak out. Tia Cummings draws the foul. She'll shoot 2. Tia, a 3-point threat, likes to line up beyond the arc. Her father hopes that one day his daughter will score as many points as another Tia at Tartan did. I'm referring to Tia Albert.
Right. I talked to her dad a little earlier in the game, and he said she's been working on her step back. You know, as a 3-point shooter, it'd be nice to see some of the girls, you know, the smaller girls especially, utilize that step back skill set. She's a junior this year. He said she's looking to go south for school.
Well, I know Tartan coming off a loss to Spring Lake Park last weekend, a loss that left Michael Cummings in an unpleasant mood. He said he needed about 5 beers to but he settled for 1. And then I told him, as we have a timeout, I believe, who called that timeout?
Let's see, we missed the ref.
And they don't have it up on the scoreboard.
No.
But to finish up that story, I told them after the season we'll get together for cake and beer because Michael actually runs his own baking operation, Glory to God Cakes.
And he's actually doing a special right now, but we won't give any free promotion here.
He's going to have to work for it, yes. No, Michael, I give him props for putting up with me.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to have another broadcaster call a game. When you put me out there, I'm going to tell you what you eat for breakfast, what your hopes, your dreams are.
But, Michael, we wouldn't mind some cupcakes in the booth here.
Aurora Roberts off the steal, can't get the mid-range J to drop.
Let's see how their transition looks here. Great stop on the drive there.
Tribble out to Wheeler. Step through, nice move. I hope your daughter's taking notes. She is.
Mike, I'm going to let you get in trouble on your own.
Roberts on the drive. Last touch by the Hawks.
They were all in there for that help side.
Well, let's be honest. Your daughter, she's always taking notes.
Oh, yeah.
I would bet she has an encyclopedic knowledge of all the games she has played or watched. 3 ball. Mason can't hit from the corner.
It's a little short there, his legs.
And the Tartan parents really were hyping up TK Mason, and they said, look out for her when she returns because she can play.
Oh, yeah.
And Wheeler, that's her second drive.
I've watched her play with that UVA 2021.
The Tyler
AAU
Coley,
team.
Tyler Coley's team?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you need anyone to sell you, Tyler Coley, he'll do a great job selling
Oh, yeah.
any of his players.
And that's what coaches should do.
I kind of wish he was still coaching high school ball. So Tartan running into a bit of a slump right now. Cooper, another fast break. Andrea Tribble
they're
scores.
still in the game. They're still in the game.
Right.
Seem
Just
to
saying
regroup.
they're running into their first bump.
Yeah.
And Cooper using that to their advantage.
Yeah.
Yes, by no means is Tartan out of this.
Yeah.
We have 11:25 to go, only a 5-point game. But, as you know, it's a game of runs. Who gets
Great
that first
steal
degree of
there.
separation?
It's a great steal. Just a little more under control. Way to be
Ekereke
there.
with the deflection, and Cummings will cash it in for 2.
That's a great way to get your team spark your team on defense.
And even though the Titans are 8-7, they did play Stillwater close. Rutherford missing the 3. Mason, she'll bring it up and lose it. Needed to put on the brakes. Now Cooper
Nice
has
bounce
another
pass. Like,
Kierra Wheeler cleans it up. Kierra Wheeler averaging 13.2 points and 10.2 rebounds a game.
it's always good when you can see your post player, your 5, actively on the ball, getting steals, and then getting back down the court.
We want to know how active she is. Kierra Wheeler had 3 double-doubles to start the season. Mason in trouble. Well, that's a tough call to take if you're Cooper. It looked like you had Mason tied up. Instead, it's a foul call. And look who's watching this game.
Oh, yeah, I saw her a little earlier come in. Double purpose, you know, you play them tomorrow and they're your friends, so 2 for 1.
Cooper calls timeout with 10:18 to go, 21-16 our score. This is definitely not going to be like yesterday's, or I should say our prior game with Eastview and Simley.
And really, I think the only points that Tartan has really given up are when Cooper breaks that press and they're getting that easy layup underneath the basket, but no one's really shown that they're more dominant than the other one, so they're playing it pretty even here, pretty close.
10:18 left in the first half. So here's an example. Kierra Wheeler, 3 double-doubles, 8 overall based on available data. Aja Wheeler, 3 double-doubles on the season. Arthel Massaquoi, 3 double-doubles.
It sounds like some pretty high-scoring games and some great stats.
It's not something you see often, though, when you have so many players who can get after it, crash the glass. And that's one reason why Cooper, even though they're 8-7, Nevaeh Meester knocks down the 17-footer. Cooper is still seen as the favorite in Section 6, even though Benilde St. Margaret's has a better record. You look at the teams Cooper has faced.
That's important when we're rating these teams, to look at the quality of the teams they've played.
We mentioned in the open, Holy Angels, Hopkins, Ysareia. They started the season against Como Park, a team back in the top 10 in 3A. And then they take part in that Roosevelt tournament every year, so they played Centennial and Rogers in that one. Minnehaha Academy, another non-conference team, so most of the teams we mentioned, all top 10. Most of them in the top 10.
Yeah.
Como Park, Holy Angels, De La Salle, they might get back up there after beating Holy Angels on Thursday.
So
Minnehaha, Ysareia, Hopkins, Centennial in the mix.
So, Mike, I'm looking at the roster here for Cooper, and is it correct that Tribble and Relaford are sophomores?
You would be correct.
Oh, my.
Well, and the Cooper team has a similar makeup to Como Park. They don't have a lot of height, but they make up for it with their hustle, their scrappiness.
Yeah.
Cooper coming off a 43-41 win over Bloomington Jefferson. And Tartan coming off a big win over Hastings. And that is not an inbound pass Cooper would like to have.
But one that Tartan would like to have, you know, that 5-second call or get you to throw it away.
That's a pass you want back.
Yeah.
21-18 with 9:25 left in the first half.
And we got some subs out here for Tartan.
We do. Isabel Ojotane, number 22. Ekereke missing the 3. And it looks like Michaela Harris is out there. Yes, 32. Oh, I wish you could be with me tomorrow for Tartan Sinley.
I know. I have to go to my day job.
Well,
save a few lives.
Well, the game's in the evening,
my daughter
but your daughter's playing.
Yeah.
You have to save a few lives, you know, watch your daughter play, because I know she's been working hard since we last saw her out there.
Yeah, and they have a big matchup. They have a big matchup tomorrow.
That's right, to Heritage Christian.
Yep.
So for once, a conference game you're looking forward to.
Yes.
I imagine the last few games have been a chore. I mean, it's nice to get big wins, but
it's been like St. Paul Conference.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. Cummings at the line, missing the front end. Cummings with 4 points so far. Gets the second one to drop. Tartan 5 of 6 from the line.
I'd love to be able to mic Coach Buford up during a game. It doesn't look like her blood pressure changes at all. She's so calm. Her team responds to her so well.
Kierra has always been stoic. You rarely see her get animated one way or the other. As a player at St. Paul Central in Minnesota, there's the 5-second call. Now, Kierra, her version of getting mad would be tame for a lot of other folks.
Yeah, yeah.
And every coach is different. There are some who are pretty vocal. Faith Johnson-Patterson, known to use a few decibels. Tamara Moore, Dave Thorson, the longtime boys coach at De La Salle.
Yeah.
So there's no one right approach to it. That's the point, because Faith Johnson-Patterson, Dave Thorson, some of the more vocal coaches, highly respected.
Done. Yep.
Kierra Buford, you know, they know Cooper. The Cooper team knows they have a strong leader.
Oh, yeah.
Lexi Nance on the floor for the Hawks.
That's one thing about Miss Wheeler out there. If you don't stop her, she's going right to the basket.
And to finish up on your point, players respond differently. Everyone reacts a little differently based on your approach. But for Cooper, I think having someone like Buford, as Cummings misses the 3, Tartan attacking the glass, but Kierra Wheeler comes up with the board. But having someone like Kierra Buford not get too rattled one way or another, that can feed into the rest of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you really have to know your players. And sometimes our kids are already dealing with a lot. They don't need us yelling at them.
No, it's okay to
teach
and offer a little Iceman.
Yeah.
Tactics.
Yeah.
Or ice women. Mrs. Freeze. It is pretty cold out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Andrea Tribble at the line, missed the front end. Tribble on the season. 10.4 points per game. 2.4 rebounds. Gets the back end. Cooper 2 of 3. Tartan 5 of 6 from the line, 22-19. Cummings for 3. That's short. Keep an eye out, though, for Tia. If that 3 starts falling.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was spot on. She's a little short, and we tell our girls when it's short, it's legs. Use your legs.
Here comes Wheeler. Drives. Lexi Nance with the rebound, and she'll clean up the mess. Lexi Nance averaging just 2.8. She's been around ever since Kierra Buford took over at Cooper.
I was just about to say, I'm looking for those Tartan starters to come back in here pretty soon.
Cummings sees a hole. And Kierra Wheeler has other ideas.
Absolutely.
Tribble, the bounce pass. Into Nance, she'll shoot 2. The foul on Ekereke.
Yeah, sometimes you're in that restricted zone. You kind of already know what's going to happen.
And we've seen that come into play a few times this year.
Uh-huh.
Lexi Nance.
It
missed
happens.
everything. Yes, it does.
We've all had one.
I'm sure you didn't. You were 95% from the free throw line, right?
Well, what I'm saying is that we've all had one. It might not have been at this time or place, but we've all had one. We've all had one.
I'm sure you were a stud.
We've all had one.
In high school and in college. You probably were all conference and player of the year.
Oh, gosh, Mike. I was a great teammate. An even better coach. Shot. Nice.
The backboard is there for a reason. That's Brianna Bell who scores. .5:53 to play. Nice skip inside to Kierra Wheeler.
Yeah, I think 3 of the Tartan starters I've trained, and one of the kids on the bench.
So you know these folks.
I do. I do.
Well, and I like their attitude. Aurora Roberts, she was aggressive to the rim. She'll shoot free throws, and I like their attitude. You know, if Chevre had stuck around, maybe they pick up a few more wins.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I thought they were going to be a sleeper team with
Yeah.
the group they had coming back, but they're making the most out of the situation.
Yeah. Making the adjustment. That's what you have to do.
Aurora Roberts knocks down the front end. Roberts, even though it was a 28-point loss to Hopkins, she put up 23 points and 11 rebounds. And
she's a go-getter.
Yes.
Yep.
And sometimes that can go a long way, how you perform against those high-level teams.
Yep. I know in the off-season she plays a little down south. She has big roots in the south, and so her training, she trains against girls that are a lot bigger than her, a lot faster than her. You know, most people don't know this. She plays a 4. She's been playing. We've watched her play a 4 and a 5 for years now. But she really wants to be outside and shoot and dribble. And but she's one of the taller players. So when she plays down south, she actually plays outside of the arc.
And it goes into the trend of positionless basketball, or at least more versatility. I read a couple of posts as it will stay Cooper ball. You know, in the old days, you were trained to
all
score
positions.
down low.
Yep.
Well, but I mean, as a player, when you were in the 90s growing up, the 5s, those tall post players, they were instructed to attack the glass, be that paint presence. But over the years, we're seeing the value of having a passing game, having an outside shot.
Yeah. And these last 2 possessions, we've seen Aurora right in there, driving the defense, talking to the defense, coming over on help side, getting that deflection, and now having the Cooper player turn into her for a jump ball. It's a great job.
Well, speaking of Tyler, he and Kendall are on hand for this one. As you noted, Tyler's trained a few of these players in AAU. Although one perk he enjoys about not coaching high school hoops, I talked to him at the Tip-Off Classic as Roberts knocks down the 17-footer.
She's getting hot.
Tyler told me what he loves most is that he gets to be dad.
Oh, yeah. I love that, too. Yeah.
Just like you get to be mom now.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, don't ask me those questions. I just want to be mom. I actually was on the phone with Tyler way past my bedtime last night talking basketball. That was quite the move there.
I don't think Aja Wheeler stayed up past her bedtime.
No, and
she's not
she ate
snoozing
Wheaties
at all
this morning.
She came ready to play. Aja Wheeler up to 8. That's like you and I. Every time we talk, we would stay up past her bedtime.
Yeah.
You and I, we ought to start a hoops podcast.
Yes.
Mason, elbow J. In and out. Brianna Bell kicks out. Deep 3 from Maester, and that's short. Rebound ends up into the hands of number 15, Autumn Johnson, and she slipped up on the rebound. I don't know, maybe the floor is a little slippery out there.
She's a junior. She's only a junior. Okay.
Well, this Cooper team, I was watching them warm up. They're really, really deep.
As you can see.
And with Kiara Buford leading the way. who knows what can happen.
Yeah, when you have a high-profile coach like that, a high-profile team, it's easy to get players to want to come to you and play for your program. Capitalize off of that. Oh my goodness.
Stillwater ring a bell? Who knows who they'll pick up next year?
Right.
Deep three. That doesn't fall for 23, Sierra Lynch. Tartan looking to run, 3:20 to go.
Nice
Skip to Roberts. Yes. Aurora Roberts up to 12. 28-27. And Aurora Roberts having herself a game, like you said.
Yeah.
She gets
She's
after
feeling
it.
herself. You can see it.
And I wonder how much the motivation factor comes into play. Aja Wheeler with another slice to the rim.
Yeah, they can't stop that step through.
You know, with everything Aurora's gone through, I think she's determined more than ever to show what kind of player she is.
Oh, absolutely. I think she's one of our more underrated players. She plays all positions. She's there. She's talking.
TK Mason gets the O board, and I don't know. I don't know about that one. From up here, it looked like Lynch got all ball, but
sometimes the acting
I'm up
works.
here. They're not. And acting, and
or part of the
if
game
you were
too,
watching the
Mike.
football playoffs yesterday, just run into your assignment, and you won't get called for PI. We joke about it, but like I said, sometimes the vantage point they have down there is better than what we see up here.
Right.
Mason splits at the line.
And let's see here. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Let's see if Aja goes back to the hoop again.
Wouldn't be
She's
surprised.
having a field day.
Nope. Instead, Relaford with a skip to Johnson, and Kierra Wheeler misses clean. Wheeler up to 8.
Way to be there.
Mason, that should say Ekereke.
With her own step through.
Well, Mason probably liked that step through, but Ekereke gets the bucket.
Yeah, and the all famous Tyler Coley is here.
Less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. Wheeler with the skip through traffic.
Nice turnaround, nice solid turnaround.
A little sister act.
Yeah.
(34-30).
Nice seal, TK.
Turnaround for Mason.
Oh, the ref's loving her today.
Refs may be loving her, but I don't think Buford will enjoy that defense too much. So TK Mason back to the line again, missed all of last season to injury. She had a solid game against Stillwater.
Yeah. And she came back earlier in the season, had a few aches and pains, but I think she's been playing consistently now.
As we noted, Tartan, they have a big match tomorrow against Simley. In the Metro East, things have been a little rocky, and early in the season, Michael Cummings noted that shakiness was evident. You know, big losses to Rosemount and Woodbury. They lost a shootout to St. Louis Park at the Tip-Off Classic. Getting more consistency is going to be the key. And then they had another loss to Henry Sibley, although that's not the worst loss in the world. Henry Sibley has Tori Nelson, the South Dakota State recruit.
There's Wheeler again. Oh.
Led with the elbow.
Yeah, yeah. She's all in her chest with it. But she was about 0.2 seconds away from spinning on her. It would have been wide open to the basket.
And that's what makes it unfortunate. If you're a Cooper fan.
Yeah.
Ekereke sees a lane, drives through it. Wheeler.
Not
sends it away.
today.
Nope. Relaford, the skip. 3-ball.
Oh, good rebound.
That's Kierra
I'm loving
Wheeler.
this kid.
Don't let Kierra's height fool you. She is a beast on the glass.
Yeah.
Give and go. Ekereke up and will shoot 2.
And kudos to Ekereke for, you know, getting that shot blocked for last possession and coming back again. you know.
Well, she knows as one of the senior leaders, you got to be fearless.
Yeah.
2 double-doubles this season for Kendra. Another one of those underrated prospects.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't know what her college plans are, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of the smaller schools or even a JUCO takes a look at her.
And what I like to see from the players is the improvement. And from watching her last season to seeing her now, there's been a definite improvement. Step up, senior leadership.
Ekereke missed both free throws, though. Tartan 8 of 12 at the line. But they're down by 6. They have a chance to pick up a little momentum. Meister drives, draws contact, and one.
Oh, I missed it. I'll catch it on your film.
Well, I hope my camera ops got it. You got it, right, Terry? Of course he did. There's nothing that gets past him. Meister, another perimeter threat, but she's got that driving ability. Meister and Chevre, they're best friends, so I have to imagine tomorrow's game is going to be highly emotional for the two of them. They would hang out together away from the floor. Meister can't get the three-point play.
I think once you get to a certain level of girls basketball, your height can, you know, you're used to driving, and she is. I think she is a better driver than a outside shooter. But being so small and going in, taking all that contact, that's wear and tear on your body. So have to make the adjustment.
Well, we've got plenty of adjustments and a lot of high-flying action. 36-32 our halftime score. Cooper and Tartan playing as advertised so far.
Absolutely. Great game.
Great game indeed. We'll be back for the second half of this great game in a moment. This is high school girls basketball, the Minnesota Fury MLK Classic. If you'd like to sponsor a TSP television broadcast, Patreon is the place. Sponsorships start at just $1 a month. Visit patreon.com/TSP television and make a pledge for premier Twin Cities sports coverage. And we're back to the Butler Center on the campus of St. Catherine University. I'm Mike Peden. She's LaToya Turk, the wonderful, extraordinary player at De La Salle in Minneapolis, Washburn. Cooper leads Tartan 36-32 at the half, led by 12 points from Aja Wheeler, 10 points from Kierra Wheeler. Tartan led by 12 points from Aurora Roberts. The second half, I don't know what it's going to come down to, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I was a little worried at first about the speed that Cooper had against Tartan, but Tartan's really handled their own in controlling the offensive game, transition offensive game of Cooper. So it's a toss-up. We'll see.
It is a toss-up. It is a toss-up, but two teams with nearly identical records, both going through some growing pains. Again, Tartan adjusting to their new team, life without Ysareia Chevre, and Cooper experiencing what many defending 3A champions do.
Yeah.
The unpredictability.
Yeah. And it looks like Tartan's going to conserve a little energy here and go to this trap zone.
Cooper can't break it with the three. And will we see Arthel Massaquoi? That's another question. Kierra Wheeler, no good. TK Mason with the board. That's going to be key in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
How Tartan seals off or boxes out Kierra Wheeler, because we've seen if she gets position, she's tough to stop. Mason. I keep getting Mason and Ekereke mixed up. I don't know why.
Two totally different players.
Oh, they're going to have some fun when they watch this tape. They might also wonder what's wrong with me.
Oh, looks like a lid went on that rim.
The rims have been pretty friendly so far. Roberts to Cummings, out to Ekereke.
So it looks like they're going to try to use the speed of, I want to say her name right.
Ekereke?
Ekereke. Ekereke.
It's not an easy one to pronounce.
And I want to be very respectful and say her name right, Ekereke.
Here's Jayla Relaford, no good. During the halftime break, we were talking about players who were deathly afraid of playing basketball, Nevaeh's little sister, for example. And Cooper had a similar one Last year, Jada Buford was on the team as Cooper leaks out. Sierra Lynch draws contact. That's some high IQ right there.
Oh, yeah.
Lynch could have settled for the layup, but felt Meister coming and said, I can get 3 out of this.
And followed through on it and went up very strong.
So Jada Buford had no plans to play college basketball, and now she's at the JUCO level looking to continue her athletic career.
It's amazing what one season can do for you.
Well, I think sometimes for a lot of players, there's a passion that's still there. And sometimes it goes away. Tia Albert comes to mind. I'll get to that in a second as Lynch misses the three-point play. Tia Albert, an outstanding career at Tartan, the all-time leading scorer, played at Marquette in Indiana, and then after a while said, I was ready to move on to the next phase of my career.
Oh.
Nevaeh Meister hit with the offensive foul.
And
oh,
it's offensive.
Or no,
Yeah, no,
it looked that way. I think Relaford. I think, yes. The players weren't aware of it.
Yeah, I saw the call, and those two are battling. I mean, the tension's a little thick between those two, and she did have her pin. I thought she was going to do a big man move down there.
Relaford sold it.
All the way to the other side of the court.
Not that an acting job was needed, but Relaford added a little theatrics to it. Deep three. Wedgie. And as you know, if we get a wedgie, that means a jump ball. And Tartan with the arrow. Now who's going to get it?
I have never heard it called that before, but okay.
Well, send my regards to Bob Rathbone, the longtime Atlanta Hawks and Atlanta Dream broadcaster, and it took the officials a couple of tries to unwedge it.
Oh, my.
I borrowed the term from him.
Okay.
Oh, he loves it. Every time there's a wedgie, he giggles with joy. I don't know if Bob watches these games, but send my regards. Mason for 3. Yes! TK Mason with their first field goal.
And if TK can get hot, it's going to be a problem for the Cooper team.
I can't believe you've never heard me say wedgie.
No.
Here's Arthel Massaquoi making her first appearance. She'll shoot 2. Then again, you don't get that a lot.
Right.
You're just used to hearing me call Sarah Scally at triples, aren't you?
Yes.
Well, we may get to call a few more on Friday when Stillwater hosts Woodbury. I think, following your daughter, Sarah Scalia might be number 2 on the list of players you admire most.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't want to
There's
rank
a lot.
them. Yeah, I don't want to rank them. There's a lot of players.
Okay, so Sarah is a mom. Sarah's tied for second.
She's in my top 10. Let's just say that. We're going to just say the players I like are in my top 10. Yeah. And some of them are even on her team. Alexis Pratt.
Where do I rank on that list? Am I 11th?
You're in the top 10, too. You're in the top 10.
Am I 11th, 12th? Oh, come on.
There she goes
Mason.
again.
So your daughter just said she's 11.
No, she's in my top 10.
Mason will get the dime. Ekereke with the bucket.
And during the offseason, during the AAU season, that's one thing that Takara does really well is her assists. And I want to say she's leading the Tartan team in assists this year. Good hands, way to be there, Aurora.
Roberts with the strip. Mason feeding
nice.
Roberts.
Oh,
ooh,
so close.
Passes a little high. And Cooper can't finish. Sierra Lynch was wide open. They'll fire the 3. Bullseye. Well, Aja Wheeler making lemonade out of lemons.
Great ball movement there.
You could say Cooper was in formation.
One for you, Mike.
Mason to Ekereke again.
Nice.
Kendra up to 12.
And we should.
And you're right about TK leading the team in assists. She's averaging 6.1 dimes, so
nice.
She's making money. 42-39. Cooper over Tartan. Another 3. That one's off. Mason with the board. Looking to leak out to Cummings. Relaford read the pass. And Relaford apparently crossed the timeline.
By the hairs of your chinny chin chin.
More like her heel.
Saying it was just so finite. I missed it.
I didn't catch it either.
Yeah, I missed it, but Cummings was working her out there.
Ekereke running the floor, calling out the play.
Yeah, she wants that ISO right there.
She's going to get it. Now needs help. Cummings for three. No good. Kierra Wheeler with the rebound.
Relaford pushes that ball so well.
Tribble.
And she wants it back now. Way to be there.
Roberts times the pass and gets the steal. Another skip.
Nice slip.
And Ekereke slips and slides her way for the layup. 14 points.
Yeah, now Tartan's playing some basketball.
Lynch. Give her the basket and a chance at three. Sierra Lynch with 11. Lynch on the season averaging just 6.9. Her season high is 18.
How many fouls is that on number 4?
They don't have it up on the board.
Okay.
But Aurora Roberts will go to the bench. Sierra Lynch misses the three-point play. Free throw shooting, not one of Cooper's strengths.
There's a little dance in there.
Yep. And this ain't the place for dancing.
Right.
But it is a three-point game. Neither team can pull away from each other. Cooper's held the lead throughout, but can't get that separation over Tartan. Wheeler.
Oh, when they smack that ball. I don't know if I like that better or the squeaking of the tennis shoes on the floor.
Ekereke able to keep Wheeler away from the bucket, though. Cummings not giving up on the three. Can't get it to drop. Ekereke missing the putback attempt. Another rebound for Kierra Wheeler.
Yeah, that was a good possession for Tartan.
And the Tartan coaches not pleased with that.
Oh yeah, well, that's a situation right there.
Meister picks up her fourth.
And she's got to know that. She needs.
And much like a year ago, Tartan does not have a deep team, so not a group that can afford to get in foul trouble. But they do force the turnover, and Meister fires the three.
Get in there.
Almost. That did everything but go in.
Can't pick up a fifth foul here. Get out of it.
Meister has to be careful until they can sub her out. And missing the 16-footer was Andrea Tribble. Kierra Wheeler, rebound. Can't get the put back. Ekereke can't corral it.
Yeah.
And now they can get Meister out.
Whew, was nervous there. Can't lose her with 11 minutes left on the clock.
Tartan will call a timeout. 11:16 to go in this one. Going back to TK Mason, 6.1 assists per game. She did pick up a double-double earlier this season. 11 points and 10 assists against Matamidi. Now in this section, everyone seems to be fighting for second, and all season this has been the case. Stillwater, far and away, number one. The rest of the group has yet to get above 500.
Well, you know.
Apparently that renders you speechless.
Yeah, I mean, we know the Stillwater team. We kind of knew preseason, before the season even started, what they were going to look like. But it just shows, with the transfers and the new coaching staff at some of the coaches and the graduations for like some of the top players, especially at Matamidi, programs just look different. So there's some adjustments that are being made. So everyone's kind of at even kill with those wins and losses. Going into having it being conference time right now, and then postseason coming up, we'll start to see some teams pull away.
Well, Stillwater, if they don't make it to state, it would be a huge surprise. Although Cretin-Durham Hall played them close, and so did Tartan, so it's not a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, talking to Willie, we discussed the Stillwater coming out and owning being who they are right away and sending that message right away, not letting some of those teams hang around with them.
Following the timeout, Cooper with the 3-point lead. Lynch with the skip, and the 3 does not drop for Aja Smith. Another offensive rebound. Aja Wheeler fires, swish.
All net.
Aja Wheeler up to 18. She had 28 points and 12 rebounds in the triple overtime thriller with St. Louis Park, won by Cooper 90-85.
It's just amazing when you have a group of players who can play triple overtime. It's a lot of energy.
Well, and those two teams like to run, so I'm not surprised they had the energy to push it like they did. Cummings looking for an option, finds
right
one
back
to Michaela Harris. And Tia Cummings gets her first 3-point field goal.
Yeah, and if she gets loose too, she'll knock down some of those threes.
Well, that is her bread and butter. She's persistent from the perimeter. If she gets them to drop, good things can happen for the Titans. Couple of rebounds. And Tia Cummings, I know she went after it, but when you come swinging down like that, yeah you're not going to get a call in your favor.
Yeah.
That's a second foul on Katia Cummings.
And the foul count is 6-1 right now. 6-2.
That's important to note because even though Cooper has struggled from the line, that means they will shoot free throws for the remainder of this game. Ekereke attacks, draws contact on Kierra Wheeler, and that means free throws.
Let's see how many fouls she has here. Okay, it's only 2.
Her second. So more free throws coming for Kendra Ekereke, who has displayed leadership emblematic of a senior. It shows in her scoring, her rebounds, and in her hustle today.
Absolutely.
Double figures in every game this season. That streak will continue. She knocks down both free throws to go up to 16. She scored 21 points twice. She might have to break that mark if Tartan will win this one, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Still have a lot of game to play.
And I want to just call a little attention here to Aurora playing defense on, I think it's Wheeler.
Aja Wheeler.
Yeah. And that's an assignment that's been given to her, and you can tell how even coming up the court, how she finds her right away. And she just wants to keep the ball out of her hands.
Ysareia Chevre scoring for the Hawks.
Good cut and step
Mason with a step through. Dead ball rebound to Robbinsdale Cooper.
So let's see how she finds her now right away.
Cooper may be a 3A school, but the last couple of years they still schedule like a 4A. I suppose, though, having a coach who played in 4A throughout her career, she knows if you want to learn, if you want to grow, you've got to go up against the tough teams. It might mean getting smoked once in a while, but you'll be all the better for it. 49-46 with 9:07 left in the second half. And Tartan, how many times have they been in games? It was Stillwater. They gave them a run all the way to the closing minutes.
Right.
Ekereke looking for an option. Draws the foul on Wheeler. That will be her third. And Kierra with a look of exasperation.
Yeah.
And St. Catherine, of course, hosting this high school event. All the St. Catherine basketball players helping out. Aurora Roberts short on the 3. Ekereke with the O board. Finds Roberts on the back door.
Yeah, they look great at that 4 or 5 position. They're working very well together. And Aurora's doing a good job of keeping the ball out of Asia's hand here.
1-point game again. Here's Lynch. Finds Kierra Wheeler, goes up, gets her own miss,
nice
and draws
Wheeler.
a foul on Mason.
You know, that spin move by Relaford, she knew exactly where her player was going to be, where Asia was going to be. That means that we know the play.
That's the second personal on TK Mason. Kierra Wheeler at the line. One of the stars of last year's team.
And Aja Wheeler plays her position so well. Rebounding, getting to the basket, keeping the ball up.
Now Wheeler, it's been an interesting season in terms of offensive production. She scored 30 points against Coma Park to open the season. She hasn't scored more than 16 since.
Well, when you have other players, you know, scoring triple doubles, you have 3 players scoring triple doubles. That's, there's no need to.
TK Mason scores for the Titans, knocking down another jumper. 51-50. Lynch from the baseline. 3 is short. Cooper cannot save it. Well, they do save it. That's Aja Wheeler slicing her way to the rim.
Step through.
But the shot does not fall. Roberts going full speed.
Aurora's got to use those long arms, Euro step.
Asia Smith read it all the way, forces the jump. Timeout Cooper, 51-50, 7:37 to go. We may have a photo finish on our hands.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what helps Cooper, we'll see how the sections play out, but 6-3A is not QRF seeded, it's coach's vote. But Waconia having a strong year, Benilde St. Margaret's. But even though they have higher records, Cooper, in the most recent poll, got back into the top 10.
Yeah, it's the quality of teams they're playing.
Right, and it helped that Cooper beat Benilde St. Margaret's in their first meeting of the season. They'll face off again February 7th.
Yeah.
That game, of course, highly important as far as section seeding implications.
Yep, absolutely.
But after a rough start where they played some real tough teams, they've been able to pick up some momentum in the Metro West. In fact, after today, they will play all Metro West teams with the exception of Grand Rapids on February 15th. Grand Rapids still competitive, even though Heaven Hamling moved on to Stephen F. Austin. There's another Hamling moving her way up, and the Thunderhawks.
We're going to do a quiz for you. I'm going to call off players, and you're going to give me stats for them.
Where they went to school, where they're going to college. Yeah, I know quite a bit, don't I? Wow. That's Emma Munter, and what a play to make on your first minute of game time.
Freshman Emma Munter.
Emma Munter blocking Kierra Wheeler. Tartan steals the inbound. Mason settling things down. Titans can take the lead here. Long skip to Roberts. We know she's been rising up. Mid-range J comes up short. Cooper gets out of a jam for now. They've got numbers.
Pass,
Lynch
ladies.
on Roberts.
Lynch does a great job dropping that shoulder, getting to the basket, creating contact.
They don't get the foul call, though, and Tartan catches a break. Mason will take it herself. Roberts can't save it.
Next pass, you got to sprint.
Lynch left alone.
No other rebounders down there.
Oh,
okay,
my
there
goodness.
We go, ladies.
Lynch, 2 looks, nobody in the vicinity, and she can't put it home. You got to convert those bunnies when they're open like that. Roberts banks it off the glass, and Tartan retakes the lead. 52-51.
And with 6 minutes on the clock, and you know they're giving Ekereke a little breather. I look to see Nevaeh come back in soon.
Michaela Harris fell on the ball. She couldn't get back up, otherwise your hip for traveling. And so they're going to rule a jump.
When in doubt, it's jump ball.
So Tartan with the arrow. And Cooper will call a 30-second timeout, 52-51.
It's a great time to talk it over with your team, those end of the game situations where a game is close, and go over your foul count, your timeouts, who's got what fouls. Definitely, if I was Tartan getting a Ekereke back in, I would definitely go after Aja Wheeler because she has 4 fouls right now. And rebound.
Looking ahead at Cooper's schedule, we mentioned mostly conference competition. Another team that's playing 3 games this week, they have Bloomington-Kennedy tomorrow, the first of 2 meetings, although Kennedy has struggled to find momentum with Oberg. However, they will honor Kanisha Bell.
Oh, nice.
Who's trying to make a statement in her senior season in hopes of landing a professional deal.
Yeah.
And then they'll play Chanhassen. Chanhassen got a win over St. Louis Park last week. The Orioles, they have some talent, but they're a little shaky in terms of consistency. They've had some big wins, and then they lay some eggs. So, Tartan leads by 1, hoping to extend it here. Mason soft on the drive. Cooper looking to push again. Relaford, the runner, is too strong. Rebound caroms into Emma Munter's hands. Here's Ekereke.
I think the starting team, if they just slow it down and run their sets, look for an open shot.
Harris gets called for double dribble, and that's unfortunate because she had Aja Smith beat.
Yeah.
Had a clear lane to the bucket.
And you could hear Jason saying, I think you could have let that one go. Having a little fun with the refs there.
Tribble.
Step back.
3 off the mark. Harris picks up the rebound. 52-51. Second half, a little more sluggish.
Way to hustle down the floor.
As far as offensive fluency. Elbow J goes down for Aja Wheeler. She's had double digits in all but 1 game this season. She's up to 20 here. But this game far from over.
Nice. Oh, nicer.
Nice pass. Better block by Kierra Wheeler.
Yikes.
Like I said, Kierra Wheeler plays a lot bigger than her size suggests.
Yes.
By the way, Aja Wheeler, with that last bucket, she picks up her 3rd 20-point game this season.
Nice.
Again, with Cooper as balanced as they are, nobody has more than 13.5 in terms of average, but as you noted, you don't have to put up 30 all the time.
You know, I'm watching this Cooper team. Aja walked her player down. She knew Kierra was going to be there, or Wheeler was going to be there, and she dropped it right off to her on the seal. It's teamwork, unselfish basketball.
1-point game.
Aja and Kierra. I'm sorry, I might have botched your names, ladies. I apologize.
Cooper holding on to a 1-point lead. Aja drives no good. Her sister is there for the rebound and a chance to extend it at the charity stripe. Brianna Bell is hit with a foul, her second. And Kierra Wheeler with 12 points. Can't make this a 2-possession game, but she can give Cooper a little breathing room here.
And she does.
She has a solid free throw stroke. You know, most folks, when you look at someone of her build, might think that's not something in her repertoire, but going back to the versatility.
Oh, no, she's a baller.
Right. Post players that can shoot.
Yeah.
They can pass. And, hey, you never know when you'll need free throws to drop.
Yeah. Kierra is a baller.
So is Ekereke. Ball is loose. And last touch by the Hawks.
We always get the good games.
Most of the time.
Even when they're non-competitive, we still get to watch some great players. Tartan does a really good job of cutting through that lane.
And a foul is called on the Hawks. They still have 2 to give. Now 1.
And with Tartan, how long do you keep Takara and Cummings on the bench with 3 minutes left?
Well, it looks like they're going to sub in now. You've got to take a chance. Meister, too soft.
You guys got to sprint back on defense now, because Cooper will come for you.
They are indeed. 3 does not drop. That would have been huge had it gone in for Aja Smith.
Know your player personnel. Yep.
Well, Brianna Bell decides I'm going to draw the foul. If nothing else, that gives
absolutely.
her teammates or Justin Burgess a chance to sub in Cummings and Mason.
Absolutely.
It also is Cooper's last to give, so that will put Tartan in the bonus in this final 2:45.
Now we got to make those free throws, and I think Coach Jason's telling her the same thing. Know your player personnel situation as point guard.
Bell doesn't score a lot, just 2.2 a game. Big trip at the line here.
Yes, Tartan appreciates these free throws.
A split for Bell, but it's a 2-point game. Relaford out to Wheeler. Off balance and draws a late foul. Now, who's it on? That's the question. It's on Roberts. Just her second. But that means Aja Wheeler gets to shoot too. Aja, 20 points overall, 8 this half. She can make it a 2-possession game if she gets the second one to go in. Here comes TK Mason.
It says a lot about this Tartan team being able to have a competitive game against Robbinsdale Cooper.
They've had some competitive games throughout the season.
Yeah.
Aja Wheeler knocks down both. She's up to 22. Meister out to Ekereke.
Yeah, I'd open the floor for Ekereke. Oh, big girl basketball.
Instead, Ekereke gets the dime as Roberts drills the corner 3.
Big girl basketball. And I'm going to predict she's going to get a stop here.
Well, not everyone can be Tony Romo. But more importantly, that makes it a 1-point game.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
Roberts going for it. Can't get it, though, so Cooper hangs on to it. That's going to leave them open on a drive.
She worked so hard.
Well, Roberts took a gamble. It didn't pay off. Aja Smith, that's her first field goal of the game. Tartan calls timeout, but still a 1-possession game, 141. A lot of time left.
Yeah.
And both teams are in the bonus.
I hope that last possession gets a replay from the 3-point shot to the defensive possession here, to the walk down by Aja Wheeler and the dime that she dished. Like, that was good right there.
That's one of the many things that Kiara Buford has brought to the Cooper team. And last year, she added Daniel Makepeace. Let's not forget about him. He has a massive social media following spends a lot of time in the sport doing instructional drills in the summer, helping Kierra coach. He also was on the coaching staff for Eastview when they won the first state title back in 2014.
Nice.
So there are some bona fide credentials
Nice.
on that Cooper bench.
Nice.
Yeah, Daniel Makepeace, I think he has over 90,000 followers on Twitter.
Wow.
And you thought I was famous.
Wow.
But a lot of great minds. And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Kierra Buford didn't seem too razzled,
No.
phased when Cooper ran into some rough spots early. And
I mean, their coach is sitting there with his legs crossed like, we're having tea and crackers today.
hey, just another game.
Yeah.
Well, now we found someone to sip our tea with.
Right.
1:41 remains. Again, one possession game. You don't need a three necessarily. Mason was looking for it. Cummings lines up for one, and I don't think she
Took a little contact
right.
there.
I don't think she had
Next
the
pass.
form she wanted. She couldn't line it up. So now Tartan's going to need to force a turnover or play foul and chase here with 1:18. Relaford. An illegal screen. Or not illegal. I heard someone say that's illegal. I thought it was a
ref.
screen.
That was the ref. Said that's illegal. The moving screen.
There was no foul, just so we're clear. Cooper just stepped out of bounds, but more importantly, Tartan gets the ball back. Mason.
Way to be there. Anyway, you know, Redford's played a great game. She's playing a great game. But she's a sophomore, and so I can see her looking into the crowd, and sometimes those emotions get the best of you when you're a younger player. But she's done a dynamic job. Can't wait to continue watching her play.
Tartan forced a foul, and that'll be it for Meister. So Cooper can perhaps ice it from the line. And looking at this game, Tartan had their chances. Those last couple of possessions, it looked like, in the case of Mason, she was trying to force it.
Yeah.
And Cummings really wasn't comfortable shooting that three. She didn't get the proper setup that she wanted. Tartan will call a timeout with 53.4. And there are a few more games that will take place later. Hutchinson and Chanhassen is up next. And then a big game, Chaska and Farmington. The Tigers picking up a validation sort of victory, defeating Eastview on Friday. Farmington could be the team to dethrone Lakeville North, who has dominated Section 1 for years.
There's just so much good basketball going on right now. And it's really nice to see that any given night, you know, outside of Hopkins and Wayzata, but even with Hopkins and Wayzata.
Oh, I can't wait for that series.
Yeah, a lot of their first halves have been tough for them.
Well, we play two halves in basketball. That's the hard part.
Right,
but
and usually that second half when they come out, it's lights
well,
out.
Stillwater played both teams. I imagine that will prepare them should they face either one in the postseason. They can only face one because Hopkins and Wayzata are in Section 6. A split at the line. Ekereke too strong on the drive. Jump ball. Cooper with the arrow, and that's what this game. Minutia, it just comes down to the little things. Tartan struggling to close out in clutch time. Cooper may not be the smoothest of wins, but they did enough here in these last couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Getting stops, big drive.
So I think with Cooper going to the line, if they knock these two down.
That could make it a 6-point game.
Yeah.
Tribble with 8 points, hoping to build on that.
Tartan does have a couple of three-point shooters in the game.
Well, they're going to need a lot to go their way. Tribble knocks down both.
Yeah.
That puts her up to 10.
So you roll the ball, don't let the clock start, set up a shot for your three-point shooter, get a quick shot off.
25 seconds. Tartan can't break free. Cummings goes for the drive instead, and look who's there for the swap.
Yeah, even with 4 fouls.
Kierra Wheeler, the Wheeler sisters.
Yeah.
Wondrous. They can make anyone make the wheels go round and round. I'm sure they've only heard that 50 times. So Cooper will hang on for another win. It will be their 6th in the last 7 games. And it looks like this Robbinsdale Cooper team has overcome some of their early season difficulties. And returning to the 3A team a lot of us thought we would see at the start of the year. And for Tartan, they won't have much time to sit on this one because they've got a big game with Simley tomorrow, 63-56 the final. Robbinsdale Cooper doing a little more at the end to give Kiara Buford and crew another victory.
Like you said, it's the small things that add up to the big picture.
Indeed. So with that, Cooper goes back to 500 and Tartan falls to 7-9. Both teams with big games tomorrow. We'll take a quick break and bring you a post-game chat with the Wheeler sisters. This is high school girls basketball. The Hawks knock off the Titans 63-56. If you'd like to sponsor a TSB television broadcast, Patreon is the place. Sponsorships start at just $1 a month. Visit patreon.com/TSB television and make a pledge for premier Twin Cities sports coverage. And joining me are the 2-wheelers who played like 4-wheelers today. This is Aja and this is Kierra. Aja, we'll start with you. Your 3rd 20-point game this season, and you were getting a lot of opportunities through the lane on drives. What were you so successful down there today?
It's more of just wanting to win more. I don't really care about how much I score, but if that's what I got to do to get the W, then that's what I do.
This is your 6th win in the last 7 games. Of course, you started off with a real intense schedule playing De La Salle, Holy Angels, Ysareia, Hopkins, so the cream of the crop. How do you think that helped Cooper get accustomed to what it was like last year when you guys won state?
Those games was just getting us ready so that we know that people's going to come after us because we just won state. So those games was really the games we needed to play good so that we know what it's going to be like when we get to state.
How does endurance help you out? Because you had to win a track meet with Tartan. You didn't score a lot in the second half, but it was a lot of high-octane action.
We're not really used to that. We used to be the only team that really got speed like that. So to find somebody that can match our speed was kind of challenging, but we came out with the W.
I suppose a nice change of pace, too.
Yeah, it was.
Well, one person who helped you get that W is Kierra Wheeler. Kierra, you're a walking double-double most nights, and your ability to play bigger than your size suggests, boxing out, getting rebounds, putbacks. How have you developed that repertoire?
I work hard in the practice, and I try to work on my body strength to get and be able to get up and down the courts and do what most posts can't do.
What effect did last year's state championship have on this team as far as motivating you to play this year and inspiring you to improve on what you built a year ago?
It makes us work harder because we gotta keep our reputation, and if we work hard, then we can do it again.
And for the two of you, what impact has that championship had? Because Cooper didn't have much history until last year, and they won it with folks that maybe aren't A-listers, but they all work together really well. What does that say about how much this team has grown since you two wore the navy and orange?
It's really chemistry. A lot of the girls that we play with, we've played with them previous years when we was younger, so we're more like a family, and I think that's what helped us a lot. When you know each other and the chemistry as well, it's easier to play with each other because you know what they want, where they want the ball, all that type of stuff, so that stuff helps a lot.
I think that we all play AAU together. We do team bondings. We're a family, and it's all about sticking together and getting the W on the court.
Well, I'd say family defines this Cooper team since Kiara came in and built this foundation. You two, of course, had a big hand in that as well. You want to say hi to anybody?
Just like to say hi to my mom and my dad. They're big supporters.
Hi to my mom and my sister.
Which one?
Kanisha.
Okay, I was going to say, not this one, right?
No.
Because he's right here.
No.
Well, thanks for stopping by. Congrats on the win, and we'll see if you get to hoist another 3A championship trophy.
We will. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Aja Wheeler and Kierra Wheeler. That wraps up this game from the MLK Fury Classic here at St. Catherine University. For LaToya, Turk, I'm Mike Peden. Thanks for watching.